So I just got to my car. I'm waiting for Liz to get here, and then we're going to be heading out to Jefferson. Jamie's going to meet us there. Tonight we're investigating Oakwood Cemetery in Jefferson, Texas. It should be amazing. Lots of history, lots of reports of phenomena and hauntings. We've been here a lot of times, but only to the cemetery like once and never for an investigation. So we're pretty pumped. Can't wait to show you guys. All in the car, and we're on our way to Oakwood Cemetery. And here we are. Jamie, are you participating? Oh.
Waving.
What are you talking about?
Don't know.
They used to put their bathtub up there because the heat would come through the windows and heat the bathtub.
Why the fuck
up.
would the heat come from the window?
Because of the sun.
And they can't do that on the pops.
Back in the olden days. Oh, okay. I don't know. Ask
Yeah, I'm gonna go back in time. And
Hey,
ask.
didn't we investigate there once?
the House of Seasons, I think. And we went to that funeral home that one time. Jamie and I have been all up in these places.
Yeah, except I don't know where any, like, I'm looking around and they all look the same to me.
If you look across the street, that's the way that our road that we're on is heading, and then this road in front of us runs the other way. This is called Lion Street. They say it's called like the line between insanity and something else. But what happened is two brothers owned the town, and they couldn't decide how they wanted the roads to run. If they wanted them to run north and south, along, you know, the directional lines, or if they wanted them to run along the bayou. So what they did is they split the town in half, and one of them made them run north and south, and the other one ran along the bayou. So people get lost on this road all the time because it just gets all wonky.
So basically, we just walk into the forest and probably die and like get nothing.
Yeah, see, like it goes that way.
Well, that one does.
Well, if you turn around, you can shine your lights on that part of the
Don't make her turn around.
Yeah, do I need to?
I mean, up here if there's a turn.
If.
Looks like another gate. It's gonna be locked. Is it?
Lock.
Yeah, I can see the chains.
That was a bit wider.
Here's the train tracks.
Let's drive along the train tracks. See if it's open down here.
Oh my god.
Son of a
It's in
nutcracker.
the middle of the road. It's like a brick or something. I can't see. It's too dark. Okay. It's recording. Oh god. Yeah. Okay. In 1846, Alan Urquhart bought the land for this cemetery and moved the graves from the previous cemetery to this place. The oldest headstone in here is from January 1st, 1850, and he died of cholera.
Put it on the camera.
The fence around the perimeter was added in 1972, which gives it this like iconic look. Buried in here, there's Jewish faith, there's Catholic faith, there's even a place called Free Ground where the African American people were buried from 1873 until 1875. There's people who were murdered, there's suicides, there's slaves, there's Civil War soldiers, there's a Confederate spy buried here, there's a woman named Aunt Bessie who was murdered by her husband, and he was found innocent by a jury of his peers, only to find more evidence later to say that he was guilty and ended up murdering her. There's two guys that killed each other here, and they're actually buried next to each other, handcuffed together. With all these deaths and all the strange, odd ways that the people died and all the different ways that people died that are here, it's no, surprise that Oakwood Cemetery is one of the haunted places in Jefferson.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to breathe. Yeah, like for me, like I'm struggling right now. Like I feel like I have like a knot in my throat.
Is that from being overwhelmed with everything
I
that's
don't
going on, or is it negative?
I don't know right now.
Which direction are you feeling it?
That was me clearing my throat.
There's going to be a lot of leaves rustling. Yeah, I think there's a path up here. They'll guide us to... What does this sign say?
Is that it? Sheriff, tax collector.
Aunt Bessie. No, he did the trial.
Oh, sorry. Probably better with
Oh, no, no.
light, isn't
It's, I can read it both ways. There's that shiny one. Doctor.
WR2? Yeah, 2.
I just don't have a flashlight. So if I fall...
I heard it again.
Oh my god, what is that medical? What's the flag? Like a bassy sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it too. You feeling anything, Liz? I bet those are soldiers, because that's usually how they... That's what, like, Arlington looks like.
Did you say you're feeling anything?
There's nothing written on these. Oh. Yeah, 1869. These are Civil War soldiers. Buried in a row.
Honestly, I'm a little bit hesitant to get too far away from the car.
Yeah.
So if something happens,
You want to just go up and over and come back around?
well, no, I don't want to go over there because that's where she felt the.
Gosh, I'm just like, I'm feeling so many, like... Have you gone in cemeteries a lot?
I'm kind of wanting to go up that way.
Me too.
We can split off. If you
Yeah.
want. If they're not comfortable, I don't mind.
Because that's where we're going to get the...
Like, I'm kind of, like, I'm really feeling like we need to go
I'm
up that way.
drawn up there. What?
It's that smell, right?
Yeah, and she said right here is where she gets all choked up.
Right. It smells like something died. Like, that's why I'm smelling it walking up that way. That's why I
I
wanted
want to
to
go
that
up
way.
there. What? And honestly, it could be a dead animal
It really could.
that we just can't see because it's so dark out here.
You should smell that, like, every
True.
day. Not localized. So do we want to walk up that way?
Let's go get the walkie-talkies.
But even when we drove from over here,
Yeah,
I wanted to see this area.
really.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're just interested in it, or do you get like something?
I just feel like it's pulling me.
But do you feel it's positive or a negative pull?
I don't really feel either. I just
Okay.
get pulled. But in that back area, it was not good.
Yeah.
And then right over there, it was like just an overwhelming feeling of just like sadness.
Mhm.
And then that one area where I just felt like,
I mean, that would make sense around Civil War graves.
Make sure you lock it, maybe.
Okay. The honk was a car.
Okay, here you go. If y'all feel something, do an EVP session or something.
Okay. I'm just kind of recording the whole time.
Yeah, if you feel like she starts feeling something somewhere,
Okay.
just kind of stop there and talk to it. We're gonna go up to where Diamond Bessie is,
Okay.
and if you need us, they should work.
there's a lot of noises.
Hmm?
I said, there's a lot of noises.
There are, I know. Okay. Well, since we're right here, how do you feel? You want to take a break, or you want to keep going, or?
I'm fine.
Because
It was just that.
I'm not really quite sure where to walk besides that square. We can go down that way a little bit more. I mean, I think it was pretty heavy all around. Like, I'm not sensitive really. I don't think. I
No,
mean,
I
like
pick up
everyone
on-
has.
I pick up on things so easily. Like,
Yeah. And I could feel the heaviness when we drove over there, but I mean, not to the extent that you can, you know? It also could have been you saying that it was.
no, like I felt like my body was just like fire. Like that I was like burning up from the out, like inside out.
Huh. What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. They're not even walking back. Who did you see?
No, I didn't see. I heard. It sounded like somebody was like scraped up against the ground or the car or something. Like maybe kind of like that. But well, but it sounded like it was like not just like that, but like, or I can't do it again. Maybe I'll pick it up when Sheila looks back at this. I hear like moaning. Do you hear that? It might be a dog. I can't tell. Stupid train is so loud.
How you guys doing?
Oh, shit. Scared? How do I work this thing? Good.
We're all the way up at Diamond Bessie right now. We just got here. Okay. It's Tiffany and Nicole, and we are at Diamond Bessie's grave. We are all alone. Liz and Jamie are on the other side of the cemetery. We can't hear them. We can't even see them. So Diamond Bessie was murdered by her husband. He took her out to lunch. I'm thinking maybe if I tell her story with me. Yeah. They checked into a hotel, and her husband, Mr. Moore, bought 2 nice picnic lunches and took her down to the bayou for lunch. He came back alone. He told people that she must have just left and he'd catch up with her later. No one ever heard from Bessie again. After the snow thawed, a woman was out by the bayou, and she found Diamond Bessie's body with a single gunshot wound to her head. At this point in time, her husband had already been cleared of the death. They tried him again. It was declared a mistrial, and it was one of the first double jeopardy cases. It was kind of a set of precedent that you can't be tried twice for the same crime without any new evidence. Bessie is here by herself. She's in a little gate. And guys, are y'all heading back? that's a train or a demon, I'm not sure. No, do you need us to?
No, it just sounded like you guys were coming back already. Like your voice is serious or something.
I am telling the story of Diamond Bessie, and I'm kind of talking a little bit loud, so it could have been me.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the thing that goes on with Bessie is we'll show you in a minute, but right in front of her gravestone is a little pot where there are flowers. I believe I read that she has no living relatives. People will shut down the cemetery at night, and there will be no flowers in the pot. When they open the cemetery back up in the morning, there are flowers. And as we stand here right now, there are flowers in front of her grave.
I was actually wondering about that.
Yeah, they say that they don't put anything in it, and they come in the morning, and there's... What if we sit on the bench and just kind of like film with
It's
her?
crazy because here, right here,
Is that? Hold on. I don't want to step on any graves. Does that not look like a kid?
Yeah.
I can't tell. It's hard to read from. Because there's that grave right in front of it. Okay, sorry. It's hard. What were you going to say?
no, I was gonna say because so far that we've walked around, right now, from over there and everything, this is how I feel most me.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't feel overwhelmed by anything.
Yeah.
Right, this, like, that's why I was like, are there kids here?
Mhm.
Because I just felt very playful for, like, I don't know.
She died in 1876 on December 31st. I don't know why they went for a picnic in the dead of winter. My jacket, I'm like... Okay, so we're sitting here on the memorial bench by Bessie's grave. There's her grave, and there's the flowers. So we're going to do a little, that was my arm on the gate, in case you heard that EVP. We're going to do a little EVP session with her in the background. The reason why Tiffany and I are here by ourselves is because we drove up here and Liz had some really strong feelings. She didn't feel like it was safe. So they're in another part of the cemetery, but Tiffany and I felt drawn here, and we felt like we needed...
Like we had to be up here.
Yeah. And that's totally not uncommon for people to have different feelings. It could just be that Liz is more sensitive, or that we're more drawn to Bessie, and it could be someone else up here. It doesn't have to be her. So you might hear the occasional dog bark.
And trains.
Or a really loud train passing by. Excuse me while I pull my shirt up. Okay. Hi, Diamond Bessie. My name is Nicole. This is Tiffany. Can you tell us what happened? Because people aren't really sure. I could have swore that I just saw a shadow out there.
And it's definitely not Liz or Jamie.
No, I can't even see them.
They wouldn't be up here.
No, but you see those, like, two gravestones? Like, right in front of us. One looks like a black stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, like, right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... Okay, that was it is eerily quiet up here. Right now, at least.
And
Okay.
it definitely has, like, an uncomfortable feeling. Like, I mean, we are in a cemetery, but...
It... I know it's kind of cliche, but it kind of feels like you're not alone, almost. I mean, that's how I feel, that I'm
Yeah.
kind of, like, being watched or something.
Like, it just feels like someone's, like, sitting behind something.
Yes, that
Like
something's
one of the
going to
graves.
jump out. Which is, I don't know if you can see our eyes very well, but we're, like, scanning the...
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Did you hear that?
I did hear that. It sounded like grass rustling.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
And I don't know if you can see the trees, but there's like
No wind.
absolutely no wind. Do you maybe want to hold it so we can see the other side?
Yeah.
Where that noise was?
So a little
Yeah.
while ago, I heard like grass footsteps over in that area, and we just heard another grass rustling.
Yeah.
on
And
that
there's
side.
nobody over there. Here comes some wind, I think. Trees still aren't moving.
But the trees are still not moving. You can hear the wind though.
You hear that, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to read that?
No.
Or 1870?
I can't read any of that.
Are your eyes decent? I'm okay with that.
I just have that, like, uneasy. But I don't know if it's just because it's a cemetery or...
Yeah.
But I just have, like, an uneasiness.
I kind of have a headache. Or the start of one.
No, I definitely don't feel anything that I felt like over there.
Yeah.
Like that. I was like, she needs to get me out of here because it was overwhelming. It's just like I feel everything and then it's like I feel it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no separation.
Yeah.
So.
And it was bad over there. Like,
That's the
Negative.
absolute weirdest thing. It's dead quiet over
And
here,
those
but we
are
can hear wind
leaves.
blowing everywhere else around us. And I'd also...
Are y'all okay?
I just got another really bad feeling, like, out of nowhere.
Right as we were talking about.
Okay, we'll start walking back up to the car, but give us a second to wrap up our session.
Okay.
Okay. So, I don't know if you heard all the thing, but Liz has got another bad feeling, and it could be because we're up here. And I still hear that wind.
And the thing that I thought was weird is that there's, like, no leaves on the ground here.
Yeah, as soon as we, like, came
There
up
is
the
none.
hill, there's nothing.
We came up the hill and into this dark patch over here with these trees that aren't moving,
There's some wind.
but there's no leaves on the ground, and they were everywhere else.
if there's anyone that would like to communicate with us, talk into this device I'm holding in my hand. Is there a kid here? That was weird. When I asked that, I was watching the thing that we saw moving, and it wasn't moving. Like, it doesn't look like it's moving now.
Mm-mm.
Although the flag's pretty still now, too.
Mm-hmm. If there's a kid, I'll hide and go seek. Hide and go seek.
Ask it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you wanting to play hide and go seek with Liz? Did you hear, like, kids laughing?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was a dog.
Whatever it was, I heard it too.
The wind's picking up.
Alright, so we gotta wrap up, but I want to do a little bit more EVP while we're sitting here because it does feel like there's some things happening. And it always seems to be like right out of eye shot or ear shot. Like,
Like something just faint.
yes. Okay, it doesn't have to be Aunt Bessie. If there's someone here who would like to talk to us, there's a silver thing on the front of this gate. Also, what Tiffany's holding in her hand, you can talk into that. Is there anybody that's here that would like to talk to us? You can tell us whatever you want.
I heard like a whispering whistle.
Like over there.
Yeah.
I hope we caught that.
I hope.
So we keep thinking we hear movement.
Off that way.
Yeah.
I'd really like to go that way. But I know Lizzie's not feeling good.
I just don't know where we can walk up.
And that mausoleum is a bit freaky.
Yes, I think that's the Schluter Mausoleum, and that scares me in the daytime.
Oh god.
There's like 5 coffins in there.
Oh no.
Okay, let's go. Can you make a rustling noise in the grass? That's my stomach. Can you whistle again for us?
The knob on that scared me. It looked like a person's head. Looking at the camera right now. I was like, who's there?
I'm just glad you didn't get up and run. And I'm like, excuse me.
Like, I just looked at it and I was like, what?
What is happening? Look. Over to the mausoleum.
Okay.
Cold.
My butt is cold too.
I would like to apologize for our intrusion. Those are... I'm starting to get that bad feeling. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's time to go. I swear I keep hearing leaves rustling. And there's no leaves. Yeah, no, there was definitely a feeling back there.
Yeah, I don't like...
And if I was a braver human, maybe I'd go.
I feel like I'm kind of like having trouble breathing. Like it's tight.
I felt really tense.
Yes. Like something was going to grab you or something.
Yeah. It was so dark, and there was no sound or anything.
It was very quiet and still. It's cooler over here.
Yeah.
Did you feel that too?
Yeah.
But my butt's still pretty cold.
That's true.
Yeah.
It should be down this. That's not a road.
Are we lost?
I think it's down.
Yeah, we walked pretty far down into the darkness.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that is the road.
Are you feeling lighter already?
Yes.
I'm feeling lighter.
Like I can smile and breathe and... Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely getting that death smell again, though. There's got to be something that recently died over here. Like an animal or whatever.
Let's get a shot of that creepy thing.
It can be our cover.
See it?
I gotta get closer to it. Creepy as hell, though. I really wish we were recording that whole thing, though.
Well, that thing has sound on it, so...
Yeah.
Do you think if we stand in front of it, we can see it? And we can kind of wrap up what we did?
This? Oh, I don't want to step in that.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh, there's a gate behind you. It's open.
Oh, snap. Okay.
It definitely feels lighter over here.
Yeah, it does.
And it's windy.
Yeah, I'm feeling the wind now.
Yeah.
I'm not just hearing it. And I'd like to point out that there's some leaves on the ground. Crazy.
Okay, here, film us for a second.
Okay.
Okay, we just walked all the way over there from over there to over here. And it feels a lot different over here. Like, lighter.
Like, I don't feel like something's watching me in this area.
Yeah, I don't feel scared over here, but over there I felt like I had to be on guard all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when we were walking up to the mausoleum.
Oh man, that place was creepy.
So much so that we had to turn around.
Yeah.
So we're walking back to the car. I think Jamie and Liz are already in there. And hopefully we'll get to come back because I think there's something here.
Yeah.
Whether or not we captured it, I don't know, but Oakwood Cemetery, check it out. I feel so cheesy.
Yeah.
You want to know what's weird?
The wind didn't hit that area. No leaves on the ground.
Wow.
No wind over
So
there.
the
Leaves
gust
were
could hear
not
it.
moving.
So
But
the
we could hear
gust
it.
of wind happened because we're listening back right now, but out of nowhere I was like, are kids buried here?
No,
And she
it was
said-
it was when you said to ask about hide and seek.
Yeah, well, I told her, like, I asked her, I was like, are there kids buried here? Because I felt very playful and, like, hide and go seek playful. And then even after that, like, I couldn't get that out of my, I just kept feeling that. And then we saw that right there, and we weren't sure if that was a kid's grave or not. And then, so we started asking questions, like, if anyone was around. And then I was like, ask if there's any kids. And then, so she did. And then I said, ask them if they're wanting to play hide and go seek. And after she asked that, that gust of wind happened. And it carried such a bad feeling. And I was like, we need to leave now.
Is that when y'all said you heard us?
And no. And so then
Well, do you wanna know, like,
we got in the car, and I said it was almost like someone did not like me asking those kids or talking to those kids. That's the feeling I got. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, we need to leave. And we just got right in the car.
right before the gust of wind, right before you told us that we need to leave, we were like hearing like footsteps, like kind of like, because while we were sitting up there, we were standing next to Aunt Bessie's like grave, and like we were turning to walk off the grass back onto the path, and I turned around first, and I hear like grass rustling behind me at the same time she rustled grass in front of
And
me.
I felt like
and it
someone was
didn't
watching
sound
us and
normal.
following us.
That's definitely how we felt up there.
And then I kept hearing that same grass sound as we were sitting there, like trying to like speak to whatever was in the area, and like that's why. And both Nicole and I were like drawn over behind the mausoleum, but like we started walking that way, and we just
And we stopped at the same
We
time, and
couldn't do
we're
it.
like, this doesn't feel right.
nope. And as soon as we came back out into the lit area, like we were like 100 times better.
You can hear it in our voices, I'm sure.
And like on the way we were walking to, like it was just a crazy feeling up there. And like what really freaked me out was the not feeling the wind.
Yeah.
Like we did not feel like anything, and the trees weren't moving.
Yeah, there was no wind or anything, but we could hear it
Strong.
over
we could
here.
hear it over here.
strong.
We could hear all the wind because we even marked it in the video. We were like, so like we hear the wind, but we're not feeling it, and the trees aren't.
Yeah, the
moving.
trees
We
aren't
hear the
moving,
trees.
and we could definitely hear it, but nothing was happening around us.
And we like documented that there was no leaves on the ground up there, none.
Wow.
Even though there was tons of trees.
Alright, we need to go.
And there was
Oh.
flowers at Aunt Bessie's grave.
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we were going to finish listening.
Yeah.
You want to know what's weird?
Yeah.
The wind didn't hit that area. No leaves on the ground.
Wow.
No wind over
So
there.
the
leaves
gust
were
hear
not
it.
moving.
So
we
the
could hear
gust
it.
of wind happened because we're listening back right now, but out of nowhere I was like, are kids buried here?
No,
And she
it was
said-
when you said to ask about hide and seek.
Yeah, well, I told her, like, I asked her, I was like, are there kids buried here? Because I felt very playful and, like, hide and go seek playful. And then even after that, like, I couldn't get that out of my, I just kept feeling that. And then we saw that right there, and we weren't sure if that was a kid's grave or not. And then, so we started asking questions, like, if anyone was around. And then I was like, ask if there's any kids. And then, so she did. And then I said, ask them if they're wanting to play hide and go seek. And after she asked that, that gust of wind happened, and it carried such a bad feeling, and I was like, we need to leave now.
Is that when y'all said you heard us?
And no. And so then
Well, do you
we
wanna
got
know, like,
we got in the car, and I said it was almost like someone did not like me asking those kids or talking to those kids. That's the feeling I got. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, we need to leave. And we just got right in the car.
right before the gust of wind, right before you told us that we need to leave, we were like hearing like footsteps, like kind of like, because while we were sitting up there, we were standing next to Aunt Bessie's like grave, and like we were turning to walk off the grass back onto the path, and I turned around first, and I hear like grass rustling behind me at the same time she rustled grass in front of
And
me.
I felt like
and it
someone was
didn't
watching
sound
us and
normal.
following us.
That's definitely how we felt up there.
And then I kept hearing that same grass sound as we were sitting there, like trying to like speak to whatever was in the area, and like that's why. And both Nicole and I were like drawn over behind the mausoleum, But like we started walking that way, and we just
And we stopped at the same
We
time,
couldn't
and
do
we're
it.
like, this doesn't feel right.
nope.
Mhm.
And as soon as we came back out into the lit area, like we were like 100 times better.
You can hear it in our voices, I'm sure.
And like on the way we were walking to, like it was just a crazy feeling up there. And like what really freaked me out was the not feeling the wind.
Yeah.
Like we did not feel like anything, and the trees weren't moving.
Yeah, there was no wind or anything, but we could hear it over
We could
here.
hear it over here.
strong.
We could hear all the wind because we even marked it in the video. We were like, so like we hear the wind, but we're not feeling it, and the trees aren't.
Yeah, the
moving.
trees aren't moving, and we could definitely hear it, but nothing was happening around us.
And we like documented that there was no leaves on the ground up there, none.
Wow.
Even though there was tons of trees.
All right, we need to go.
And there was flowers at Aunt Bessie's grave.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh, we were gonna finish listening.
Yeah, we don't. Anywhere else or? It doesn't look like it.
Do you want me to get out?
I can.
Okay.
The lights. No. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
We're leaving anyways.
I'm not scared. There's no trespassing signs. But just get sick. These freaking birds are everywhere, man.
Bye, Tiffany. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Tiff. Love you.
Okay, so it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, a few days after the investigation. I'm doing a little bit of review, and I think I just found something interesting. You heard it, right? Yeah, that wasn't it.